Cuckshack. Today we finally get around to talking about FWA. Also more about drugs and shit stories. It's freezing, let's go inside.
Hey, you want to open this up on Cuckshack or what?
No.
All right.
No.
Well, I can see how this is going to go.
Yeah, fucking fantastic. We procrastinate for what? 2.5 weeks, and this is the best we can do.
Yep.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
How about we start by introducing who the fuck you are? So this is Griff, also known as, how do you pronounce it?
It's Ikralu. Oh,
Ikralu?
Ikralu, it's a flapped R. You
Yeah.
can also call me Iki, Ik. Doesn't really matter.
Icky with the small dicky, and we met Icky at FWA a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was walking around on the atrium level at the Marriott, and I was kind of walking around snapping pictures, and I saw you guys sitting over near the Pulse Lounge or whatever it was. You guys had just finished breakfast, and I saw you guys, and I immediately was like, all right, well, how am I going to like get their attention so that they know that I'm not some like random straggler walking around? And I was like, I did the Johnny Ma.
Tony, man.
Johnny Ma. And as soon as I did that, Jason looked right over at me and gave me the point. He pointed right at me. So
I had no fucking idea who this guy was. I'm like, okay, he's either watched Cuckshack or he's nuts. So I'm just gonna like, yeah, dude, I know what's up.
Or he's nuts.
or I'm fucking nuts. Yeah, that's. I think it's a combination of the two. You just didn't know. So.
Yeah. And then immediately afterwards, they're like, "Oh, that's the guy that posted the pictures of the weed in the group chat." I'm like, oh, okay, I knew that guy. All right.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that was okay. I didn't.
Like,
hear
I
that.
didn't even see your face at that point. The only thing that even defined you was just fucking tanks of weed.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that conversation had exchanged while I was talking to other people. So, yeah, that's. I had sent a picture to you, Kate, of the two. Like it was. I think I had almost an ounce of weed. I think I had over an ounce of weed, and
I was like, oh no.
I was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna bring to FWA. You know.
You want to give the Cuckshack listeners a bit of a rundown of what you may or may not have possibly brought to FWA that weekend?
Well, things that I had included were, but not limited to. I may have had about half a gram of Molly on me, 2 hits of LSD, 3 grams of mushrooms, half a jar of Green Dragon, which is THC moonshine, a handle of liquor, 2 prescriptions of amphetamines, and God, what else? Oh, 6, about an eighth of bud.
Yeah, and EMT scissors just in case someone fucking dies.
Yeah, right. So, you know, I had all of my bases covered. Good thing I didn't get stopped, because I felt like what's his name, Hunter S. Thompson in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. If you've never seen that movie, you should check it out. But yeah,
Never seen it.
Oh my God. So like he has like a briefcase full of drugs like coke and all of these, like they had some ether at one point, just all kinds of shit. So I kind of felt like that when I was going in, and I went completely by myself. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna bring drugs and I'm just gonna go and have a great time and meet a bunch of people.
I need to make friends fast.
That's right, man. You know, everybody that goes to a furry con's gonna do something, so might as well, right?
And that was like your first ever FurryCon too. Like this was your entry point.
Yeah, it was actually. I've been to Dragon Con a couple of years. I went in 2013 with some friends, and then I went in 2014 with a buddy of mine. And I mean, it was big. It was huge. I mean, I've still got videos and stuff of just the thousands and thousands of people crowding the Marriott at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. It's just like a sea of people, but. It was my first ever FurryCon. I just took a chance, man, because I've been into the furry fandom for a long time, but it was one of those things that I kind of held as almost like a secret because, you know, I didn't want to be chastised for being a furry. But there came a certain point in my life when I just stopped giving a fuck, and I came out in all kinds of different ways, and being a furry was one of them. So I was like, fuck it, you know, there's a FurryCon that's, you know, 3.5 hours away from me, so why not go?
fuck it, right? And then you got
Yeah.
like a king suite all to yourself, and like invited a bunch of people that you just met up to it, got them all absolutely fucking plastered.
Got everybody so fucking wasted.
Hey guys, you want to try some of this green dragon?
Hey guys, you want to smoke some of this bowl? We'll sneak off into the
my
fucking
In the
God.
staircase,
We had to
like a bunch of fucking teenagers.
We had to sneak off into the stairwell. Yeah, that was creative. I mean, but shit, man. I mean, I'd walked over to the stairwell and there was all it was just this waft of weed coming up from the bottom floors, and I was like, well, shit. If everyone else goes smoking here, fuck it. I'm gonna do it too. So, unfortunately, that hotel didn't have any balconies or a window that would open. Otherwise, I would have smoked at the room. And they didn't have any. Oh man, they didn't have any fucking the vents in the
Yeah.
bathroom. Of course, they didn't have any vents because of the Taki Shits. I know that, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Do you remember the pile of puke on the 10th floor? Like the quick access elevators you just walk past and they're just fucking shit all over the carpeting from people vomiting, like obviously not handling in their fursuits and shit.
I did not.
Oh
see that.
last day?
yeah, I remember. I stepped in it. And
Oh,
I was
my
like,
God.
oh,
It was
gross.
pretty nasty up there.
Oh man, no, I didn't see that. I hit the 10th floor going down. It was a quick fire way because my room was right next to the stairwell, so I just hit the stairwell, go down 2 floors, and then bolt over to the express elevator and just take it all the way down. Because fucking elevators sucked at that con.
They
It's one of the
did.
worst like elevator cons because there's only so many that go to the bottom floor, so you either have to try and book a room near the 10th or down like from 5th to the 1st or like all the way at the top, so you can just go whizzing all the way down the scenic elevator or some shit.
Yeah, the scenic elevator, the one that goes to the bottom floor and then it goes to the 10th floor and then it goes up to like the big boy suites up in like the
Yep.
60th floor and shit, or the 40th floor, whatever it is. Yeah. But
God, could you imagine the day that furries fill out a hotel that big all the way to
They
the
almost
60th
did.
floor?
there
That's the thing.
there were still some rooms that were left unbooked, but they did book a lot of them that they had booked the majority of them that they had reserved. I think at least from what I know, but I don't know very much. So, but yeah, I had a fucking great time, man. There was just so much stuff. We went to the fucking aquarium. That was fun.
I love
yeah.
that. Fucking whale sharks, man. Giving the ultimate suck.
The ultimate suck. Yeah, I had taken a lot of fucking pictures. The only problem with the pictures I took, the camera that I have, the autofocus is broken on it. It's worked
Yeah.
great, actually. I bought it from a friend of mine because the autofocus was broken on it, and I bought it and literally took it out, cleaned the lens, and then put it back on, and it started working again, and it worked forever. And as soon as I pulled up and pulled it out of my bag to go take photos, that Friday morning, the son of a bitch wouldn't work. So I was like, well, shit. So I had to manually focus everything. So like all the 620 pictures that I took, half of them are trash because they're so blurry and out of focus.
Half of what I remember from the aquarium is like the actual like animals and shit, and the other half is just you like going on about your fucking straws and your OK hand signs. But hey Jay, guess what? Hey Jay, something I gotta tell you, man. Oh man,
Dude.
I'm pretty fucked up right now.
Oh my god, man, dude, it was just, I don't know what it was. It was something that inspired me to tell you about that. But I went after we had drank that green dragon, because I mean it was really funny how it all happened, because everybody came up to my room and we had a bunch of people up there. Tal was up there. Man, I like Tal. Tal's cool as fuck.
This is Spider-Man crap.
Dude, yeah, dude.
He got so fucking destroyed that he's like, oh man, I'm gonna fall off the balcony, man. Just like crawling on his hands and knees back to the room.
Yeah, he was. He was crawling on his fucking hands and knees. Then he got in and played VR for a fucking hour and a half. Like, I was like, dude, you even...
He tried to walk away from his VR spot. I just remember just falling forward on the bed like a tin man. I was like, man, I can't walk anymore. My legs don't work.
He's like, dude, man, did you disassociate like that hard? But, oh man, so we started with the green dragon, and, this stuff had been fermenting. I mean, I got it for my birthday back in February. So it had been, that THC had been fermenting in that alcohol and that moonshine for, God, 2 months, 3 months. And,
Oh god.
oh man, like everybody started, like we were just like pounding it back, and it tasted so
Bad.
gross.
It tasted really bad.
It tasted very earthy.
I love
Tasted
checking
like
in with you,
skunk
Caitlin. 'cause
ass.
I'm like,
That's what it
"Kate,
tasted like.
the last the most high you've ever been, you've said it was like a 12 out of 10 or about a 15 out of 10 max. And like Kate at the restaurant turning to you, she's just kind of, her eyes dazing across the room.
It was
Kate,
really bad.
how far are you in, man? Out of 10? She's like, oh, 25. Oh, okay. Like, are
I
you
was,
here?
I
She's
was
like, no.
sitting there and I was sitting across the table from our friend Whiskey, and like I'm looking at his face and I'm trying to focus on him and what he's saying, but all I see is his face like floating in this like blackness of nothing.
Oh my god.
And like it was so bad. I was like, my body was twitching and like I kept feeling like I was gonna fall and I couldn't stand, but I really had to pee, so I just had to hold it.
That was
the
so
whole
fucking
dinner.
embarrassing for a Whiskey, because to that point it was a meme where every single time we saw Whiskey he was fucked. Like really fucked up his face and like Molly or some crazy shit. This is the one time we actually hang out with him when he's sober and we're all fucking destroyed to the point where we can't even talk.
Yeah, man. So like, the beauty of it was Kate decided that she had this. Oh man, she had this big talk, and she's like, you know what? I do all these edibles all the time, and you know I take all this stuff, and I usually do a lot of edibles and shit. And I'm like, all right, well, hey, that's good. You know, that means you can party hard with me. And we drank the Green Dragon for a little bit, and I was like, hey, I just packed a bowl. Let's go in the fucking stairwell and smoke it. So we all went in there, and we all smoked a bowl, and came back, and 15 minutes later, Kate's like, I can't feel my mouth. she's like licking her lips and stuff. And she's like, I can't feel my mouth.
I couldn't, dude. I couldn't feel my fucking mouth.
Then she's like, 5 minutes later, I'm like, checking up on her, and she's like over there touching her hair and shit, and she's like, oh my god, my hair feels so good right now.
I was like touching my thighs and my fucking legs, and
I loved it when Tal was like, oh man, whenever I move my head back and forth, it's just a smear of colors, man. I can't see shit. It's like a picture frame.
I remember he was talking about like a guy holding a flamingo and a puppy or something
Oh yeah.
like that.
Oh my
He was
god,
saying flamingos and shit every time he closed his eyes.
dude, he was watching his life through a fucking PowerPoint presentation. Oh man. Yeah, so I don't, to be honest with you, the only thing from the Metro Cafe that I remember is I ordered like this fucking bomb-ass tuna melt. Now, I don't know if it was just the tuna melt was really good or I was just so fucked up that anything that I tasted was just like orgasm in my mouth. But that fucking tuna melt was pretty damn good, I'll have to say. And I don't remember eating it.
I don't even remember what I had.
I had a Euro. It
I
was
just remember
really good.
eating.
Oh man, I remember like Whiskey sitting over there and he's like trying to talk to me and I'm like, yeah man.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was watching your conversation and you were like so passionately looking him dead in the eyes, like you're listening so intently. He finishes talking after a solid 2 minutes and you're like, what did you say, man? He like asked you a question and everything. It's like, Griff, did you catch any of that? No man, I'm fucked
Nah,
up.
man, I'm fucked up right now, dude. That was it. That was exactly how it went. That's how it went down.
Oh man.
Oh man, it was a good time though, really good time. And then so we came after, because usually after I smoke weed or I do anything like that, after about 3 to 4 hours, because the weed that we smoked was like CBD intensive weed. Now CBD it's not supposed to give you like the THC high that everybody gets. It's supposed to give you more of like a relaxant. I don't know what
it was not.
I don't know. Well, I mean, you also did consume a lot of THC moonshine that was like
True.
that was
I
hardcore
think that
THC.
was the one that did it, because by the time we're at the restaurant, that was a few hours later, and I don't think that's the fucking staircase that did that.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, I mean, I think the staircase intensified it, but the whole thing was after about 4 hours. Now, I've been smoking this stuff for a while, and it's really weird. I haven't developed a tolerance to it, but we got down, and we were getting ready to go eat, and about 4.5 hours had passed since we did everything, and Kate's like looking at me, and she's like, is this gonna, like, are we gonna come down? And usually I'm like, everything's gonna be okay, but I legitimately had like this flash of like, I don't really fucking know if this is gonna come down or not, if we're just gonna be this fucked up all night or what's gonna happen. And it's just like, we're just gonna
Fucked up for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we're just gonna be fucked up for the rest of the con, I was like, well, that's okay, we just ride it like a fucking train, just take the train and be done. And so we went and ate, got really fucked up. We were still fucked up as shit. We got back to the hotel, and I think we were chilling out for a while, and Tal was playing VR, and we were just doing shit. And I think you guys were getting ready to go to bed at one point, and I was like, all right, cool. It's like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, 12:30 or something like that. And I was like, well, shit, the raves are still going on down there. What am I going to go do? So I went back up to the room and I was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and let's take some drugs. Let's go to the rave.
I'm not fucked up enough.
Because I'm fucked up and I was coming down a little bit, but I was still kind of inebriated. And I got up to the room and I was like, I want to eat these shrooms, but I'm by myself and I don't know if I eat these shrooms and just get so fucked up that I like fall all over the place and make a big scene and then get escorted out. I don't want all that shit. So I was just like, I had this handle of liquor in there that we had been drinking on and shit. So I was like, all right. So I poured myself a drink, slammed that back in like 10 minutes. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to go down to the rave. But wait, there's more. I'm going to go back and I'll take a couple of sips of that moonshine.
Didn't you also like pop an Adderall at some point as well, just to kind of balance yourself out?
I think I did. I think I may have popped an Adderall before I went back because I was like, well, I want to stay up. So I went ahead and popped an Adderall and then drank some more of that moonshine. I took a couple of gulps out of it and went down and went down to the rave and kind of danced around, took some pictures, did some crazy shit. Really, still just absolutely fucked out of my mind. And
that was a pretty great rave too. Like I love the fucking setup and the giant screen and the lights flashing everywhere and shit.
Oh, dude, yeah, they were doing it right. They were doing it right. But I came back up to my room. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I finally come up, and I'm just so fucked up. I'm just like faceplant. I hit the bed. I wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning. I get up, and I'm still obliterated at this point. I was like, oh my God, I'm so fucked up right now. What's going on? So I went down to the floor, looked around for you guys. I didn't see you guys anywhere, so I figured you guys were still sleeping. So I went to Starbucks and got myself a coffee and put the straw wrapper in my pocket. No, you didn't think anything of it. I make sure I emphasize that point of the story because it comes in handy later. So I put the straw in my pocket and I walk around and I come back and finally meet up with you guys. And I walk over to Jay when he comes down and I'm like, hey, Jay, man, I don't really know like how to tell you this, dude, but like, dude, I'm just still fucked up from last night. And he was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, dude. And I've had the straw wrapper in my pocket. And I pulled out the straw wrapper. And I'm like, I've had the straw wrapper in my pocket since breakfast this morning.
This shit fucking pissed. Because what would happen is, like, everyone, when you're going out, picks their own, like, little fucking travel buddies, right?
Yeah.
So I always end up being, like, in the middle of the group or at the back of the group, just kind of hanging to myself. And then this fucking dickhead over here that trying to weans up to me like a magnet every time. He becomes my walking buddy. So I'm just like, I like to do my own thing where I got, fucking just chilling out, listening to everyone else doing their own shit. And then suddenly this all gets quiet and then this whisper starts coming up to my side. Just, hey Jay. I'm like, yeah, what? So this is kind of tough, man. Like I'm still just trying to get over it and shit, but I'm still kind of fucked up right now. This is fucking the straw wrapper in my pocket, man. I've had it for like 2 days. Still have it.
It's so
this just goes on for fucking
thing.
hours and days.
Man,
and
shit.
Every single restaurant we're at, he's sitting next to me and he's doing this dumb shit.
Oh my God, man. I was like, it was literally like 2:30 in the afternoon the next day. And I was like, Jay, man, I don't know, man, but I'm still fucked up from last night. Mind you, this is 12 hours has passed. And I'm still fucked up. Oh, man. And
It's
I was
fucking moonshine. That's what it was.
I know, it was. Yes, it was. I look back in retrospect, it was definitely the moonshine. Speaking of which, there may or may not be some at Anthrocon coming up. So
We're gonna have another fucking green dragon story.
Okay.
we may or may not. It just all depends.
You ended up finishing that moonshine after way, didn't you? Or did you have a little tiny bit left?
I had a tiny little bit left. I had a friend of mine was telling me that I should take it and boil it and boil all the alcohol out of it and just make it into like THC juice for vape. So I was like, I don't know, man. This stuff is so good. I might just like down the rest of it one night when I'm just playing games or something and just continue to zone out for the next 12 hours. But man, that was some good stuff. And then, I've got straw wrappers in my fucking pocket.
I think the highlight of how fucked up we all were is when we were all hitting that high after dinner, I think. And we were just in fucking purgatory on the bed for like a good 4 or 5 hours. Just kind of bleeding our hearts out, just talking about fucking, like, all this dumb shit. Like, all the truths coming out and fucking... Dude. Friends that we've never had get high before at all had way too much moonshine, and they were fucking on another planet that we weren't even on.
They were like
they were in another universe.
They were trying to find the portal back, and we're just like, I can't fucking help you, but we can listen. So
that was at the exact same time fucking Talent shit was doing VR as well. So it was one crazy room.
Dude,
it was messed up.
Tal was like swinging around and shit. I'm like, damn, dude, I better sit back. I don't want to get fucking knocked out.
So here I am thinking Griff's like legit traumatized in the corner, because every time I look over he's just got bug-eyed, just kind of like, what the fuck do I do right now? Like, what did I do to all these people? Like, they were not expecting to get this fucked up, and it's all my fault. So I try and initiate conversations with this guy the following days, and he just keeps pulling out this fucking straw wrapper every single time. I try and get serious with him.
That's because I was still fucked up, man. Oh my god, I was sitting over in the corner, dude, and I felt bad because, I mean, everybody was having a good time, but everybody was so fucked. And I was like, oh man, this is like the point where I did this to these people.
Like, people are like crying, but it's like happy crying, and it's like just tears streaming down people's faces, and they're going red, and they're falling over.
Like, I could barely open my eyes, and I couldn't feel my mouth, and like my throat was constricting,
and like
I was just dying.
Oh my god, man! It was so funny because it was like, you know, these people are having the time of their lives, and I just met them, and it's just so cool. But at the same time, these people are so...
We've known you for like half a day.
Dude, that would be literally like you guys had known me like half a day, and you guys were already just so fucked up out of your minds. And I was like, I don't want this to be an actual representation of me. I just like to have fun every now and then. It's a convention. This is like a special occasion. But yeah, I had a great fucking time, man. It's literally, I mean, like I said, I've been to Dragon Con twice. We have a little local one over here in South Carolina called Nashicon that I went to. It's pretty cool. But man, nothing like FWA. Man, FWA was still my favorite con. And just the whole
atmosphere. What was your thoughts on like the artist alley and the adult section of the artist alley and shit like that?
My thoughts on it were brief because I was only in there for a brief moment. I was walking in there by myself and I was walking around, and, you know, I was admiring all of the fallacies and all of the dicks that were just like spread out on all of these tables and stuff. And I was like looking at some of them and I was like, you know, oh, that looks cool. That looks nice. I would get that if I had the money. And then, you know, and then I'm seeing these fucking things that look like the size of my fucking leg, and I'm like, dude, how would you ever?
I know, it's fucking crazy. And
you
like,
break your tradition this year, Kate. You didn't get your picture with your giant horse cock.
Yeah, I guess I didn't. Fuck.
Every single convention, Caitlin hunts out the biggest horse cock at the convention and poses with it every single time.
Dude, there were some big ones. Yes, next time we got AC. I'm pretty sure there'll be some pretty big horse dongs there.
They don't do an adult section at AC because the fucking con chair is a giant like pussy.
What, prude?
Yeah, a pussy prude.
A pussy, a pruded pussy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I can't believe I got age tagged in the adult section. I didn't have my fucking driver's license.
Oh, you did. Hey man, that was cool though.
And here I am with a fucking mega beard, and I sound like I'm fucking 38. And I've got the fucking forehead wrinkles to prove it. It's like, oh yeah, you look like you could just be out of school. You got a bit of a baby face. I'm like, fuck you.
You're like, I'm standing here. I got age tagged too, man. I have gray in my beard, for fuck's sake. And they were like, I need to see your ID. And I'm like, really? Do you? I mean, I don't even get carded when I buy liquor. Like, do you really need to see my ID? They're like, we have to see everybody's ID. I was like, well, fuck. Okay, here it is. But Jay came up there and he didn't have his ID on him, which actually kind of worked out to the best because that allowed me to have some like personal one-on-one time to talk to you.
Yeah, you can talk to me more about your fucking straws and your OK hands and shit.
Man, fuck no.
I think we did the fucking OK hand game like what? It was at a point where it was so competitive that it was every like what 3 minutes.
Oh yeah,
you solid like 7 hours.
Especially if you're walking, you couldn't look down, man. You literally would almost trip because you couldn't just look down because every time you look down, somebody would take advantage and be like, "Oh, hey, dude, check that out." But
I remember we were just mentally exhausted by the last days. Like, hey man, can we just do a truce for like so we can enjoy the con, so we can just stop this fucking dumb shit.
We did call a truce, and Yep. Kate broke that
And
truce.
then I ended up breaking it like 3 times.
Yep. Yep. And then I did too, and then it was just back on. So that was.
I'm sorry, I'm a bitch.
You're not. Well. Anyway, so
I'm not even gonna touch that one.
yeah. So no, it was fun. It was really fun. I think you got me because I've been playing the game for so long, and it's just I've grown such a tolerance to it that I know the signs. Like I can just read them, like your whole body language before you do it. Like I know you're gonna do it. And,
Yeah, it's so alien out of place. Like, who fucking just randomly, hey man, you fucking, like, your kneecap, it looks a little bruised there, you dickhead. Oh,
Hey,
got you that time.
Did you fucking look down here? Oh god. Oh, hey, gotcha, bitch. So no, it wasn't. I know those things, but Kate got me at the fucking aquarium. She got me at the aquarium outside on the line. She's like, "Does it look like this?" And I was like, "Oh my god, you fucking got me. You guys got me."
You got fucking cabbie patty. Poor thing.
That's right. You were like Team J and Cavs got you. I was like, dude, don't be trying to piggyback off her success. She
I've
got
been doing for 6 years.
I was about to say, yeah. You just
That was too
self-roasted
easy of a
yourself.
setup, man. You gotta try harder than that.
Yeah. No, man.
How was the fucking prom on the last day? The random prom that they just replaced the rave with?
Dude, I don't know, man, but it was fucking awesome.
God, so just at one point they somehow managed to like scoot out all the rave shit, bring in a bunch of tables, a bunch of balloons, an ice sculpture of FWA 2018.
That's on my.
It wasn't switched yet.
It's on the headliner of. It was 2017, I think, or maybe in 2000. No, it was 2018. Yeah, and I had the. That's actually the header on my Twitter.
Yeah, and they had like caterers and free food and all that, and they started playing prom music.
Yeah.
And then like there was these like fursuits slow dancing and all that. Oh, it was fucking great. I hope they like carry that on next time.
Yeah, that was really cool. It just the one thing about it was going to a furry convention for the first time. It just accelerated my need for a fursuit. Like I really just, oh man, God, I was sitting there and I'm like, I wish I had one of these. Oh my God,
It's funny. I was so busy getting shit faced that I didn't fursuit that entire con. But at least 2 weeks early we had FE and I did it then. So
yeah, well, I mean, and hey, we'll do it. We'll make sure that we get some. You'll get some fursuiting time in during Anthrocons. So during AC, you'll be able to get some fursuit time in before we get just royally fucked. Because
get fucked in fursuit. That'll be a great idea.
Man, I'm telling you, you go to a con with me, you can get fucked up, one way or another. I'm gonna make it happen.
It's gonna happen. Yep.
Prepare yourself.
He's gonna slip that fucking moonshine into your Pepsi.
That's right,
Your
man.
Pepis.
I'll do it. I'll do it in small increments so you don't actually notice a taste difference. And I'll slip some. Like I'll take a little like a pen and inject some into your toothpaste. And do. Man, I'm not that fucked up, but that would be kind of fun. You're brushing your
Kate,
teeth.
why don't you tell the story about the 2 fans that came up to us the second last day or the last day and went to dinner with us and shit, Kate?
Oh yeah, they were so sweet. This couple. Shit, what was his name? Oh my goodness, it was something complicated. I think.
Anyway, carry on. You'll probably come up with it as you're telling the story.
Yeah. Him and his friend decided to come to dinner with us. And
well, not even that. They wanted to give you a gift.
Yeah, they
and
wanted to
we
give me
bumped
a
into them as
gift.
we were going to dinner.
I was getting there, Jay.
Oh,
Anyways.
Sora.
Oh yeah, Sora, that's it.
Sora and the other guy.
Yeah.
Sora and Dora the Explorer. I don't know.
Anyways, they gave me this really, really cute like Shiba Inu plush. I think it was like fruit themed, like it was like a mango or a papaya or something like that. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It was just like, I don't know, like somebody just coming out of nowhere and being so appreciative of what I do. And like, even though they're struggling with their money, like they were saying, they still wanted to like give me a gift, and they even like wanted to buy my dinner. And I was like, no, no.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. And yeah, like we got back from the dinner, and just like everything that they had said like really hit me hard, and I just started like crying because I'm like, why are these people so nice to me.
They were like bringing up artwork from.
I'm just like, I don't deserve it to take stuff for granted.
They'll bring up artwork from like 4 to 5 years ago and stuff, and they remembered absolutely everything she had ever drawn, and they're going on a long story about how much it like made them happy and it really, you know, brought them to a better place and helped them meet up.
Yeah.
All this great stuff, and how they've been supporting you for so long, and like it made their convention just even meeting you. They didn't even expect to like see like in person or even hold a conversation with you, let alone like
Go out
have
and eat
dinner with
dinner,
you and
yeah.
stuff. But they're completely like normal, like fun-loving people. There's nothing wrong with them, but they just like it's just that mentality that like the popufers and all that are just on another plane that you can never interact with, right?
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
a shame because, you know, it shouldn't be that way.
You know, actually, funny story to touch on that when you talk about poppy furs and stuff. Jason, I've been following you for like since your start, and it was really the whole thing, and even now, like to this day, the whole thing is so surreal because I never thought that I would ever meet either one of you, much less you know, hang out with you guys at a convention like we did, much less get fucked up. And here I am. You know, I never thought that this would actually happen. I thought this is, I still to this day, like have those moments of like, holy shit, this all happened so quickly. And I'm just fucking so excited that all of the events that have transpired in my life have led me to here. You know, I'm extremely happy.
Yeah, same.
And it's been a wild ride, but fuck, you know, I'm happy and it's been great. But no, Sora actually kept in touch with me after we left the con. I still have his number and everything. But
Awesome.
we were talking and stuff like that. Probably should shoot him a text here and there. Yeah, I didn't eat anything at that place. We would go to Chops. Was it called Chops or Cuts or?
It was a really expensive
Something like
ass
that.
fucking foo fancy restaurant. Yeah.
I walked in there in gym shorts and a fucking t-shirt and was like, okay, well, I have a rainbow mohawk. And, you know, I'm like, oh boy, these guys are going to be like, yo, dude, you're fucking riffraff, get out. You can't afford half the menu. But I was like, all
We
right.
only ended up going there because of one dingle breath anyway, but yeah, the rest of us, I ordered just a fucking $13 burger. It was the last day of the convention, so everyone's money was getting a bit tight. I saw that Sora and her friend had to split a burger and all that, so, and you obviously had to fucking starve yourself because you needed money to get home.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had to fucking, I mean, you know, parking I think parking ended up being like $56. Since I went to the con by myself, it was nice to have a king suite, but that was $358 that came out of my pocket.
Yeah, it's not cheap to go to conventions on your own.
Yeah, and but I mean, out of my local friends group, I'm the only furry, so it's kind of like, I mean, I may have been able to. It was like, hey man, do you want to come join me at this convention? You got to pay $65 to get your ticket, and then you're gonna have the room with me, and then we can. That just, to anybody who's not into the fandom, you know, that would just kind of be like, you know, it's a convention, but I don't know if I really want to do that, you know. So it was just kind of like, well, I'm just gonna go by myself, and I had been saving up some money and stuff like that, so it worked out. It worked out for the best. But yeah, parking was like $56. I think I did spend about $100 to $120 in drugs, and then, you know, because that's important. And the $358 for the room, $65 for the thing, and then, you know, I got myself a badge. This was before the wonderful Cabs drew me a fucking amazing ass reference sheet. Holy shit, bringing my character to life. It was really, really awesome. But yeah, Galaxy Owls did my badge, and it turned out fucking great.
Yeah, they did a really, really good job. I really liked it.
Yeah, that like kind of directly inspired how your character ended up looking later, because you're just like, oh yeah, just give it like whatever. It's like, well, is there anything in particular? It's like, no, I like the color blue, I guess. You just fucking surprised me, and then you ended up liking the design.
Yeah, I did.
Kind of stuck with it.
And then, you know, by the time Kate was like, I'm going to draw you a reference, I'm going to sketch you up some stuff. By that time, I was like, you know, I had thought a little bit more about what I wanted. And I thought about some stuff that was really, really close to me. So that's why he's got like the Not Be Stripes, because I'm a huge I'm James Cameron's Avatar fan, you know, huge fan. And in fact, that's where my name comes from. My name Ikralu is short for Ikralu Lukan, which is basically.
Look out, dickhead, in Navi speak.
Fuck you. It's basically just it stands. It's like a hybrid. It's Griffin. It's basically a Griffin. I don't go into. I can go into detail about it, but it basically comes out to be Griffin, and my name is Griffin. So it kind of worked out. So Ikralu is short, means Griff. So yep. So I was like, let me get some Navi stripes on there. Let me get some of the bioluminescent dots or the sunhead.
I remember your biggest contribution to the rep sheet. We were getting wrapped up. It's like, is there any final touches you want to add to this rep sheet? You're like, guys, can you make the balls a bit bigger?
Yeah, I was.
A little bit bigger, guys. A little bit bigger. Come on, let's not fucking be conservative here. Come on, bigger balls. Come on.
Let's. Oh, and she was like, "Is this good?"
Grapefruit.
I was like, "A little bit bigger." Okay, there we go. That's perfect. Yeah. You didn't want to go too big because you didn't want to make it look all like silly, but I was like, "Yeah, I want him to be thick in more ways than one." So there he is, thick man.
Thick boy.
He is a thick boy. But
I'm glad how that turned out. It had a nice like silver blue fucking palette shit going on and all that.
Oh
like,
yeah.
It is pretty easy to sometimes just think of a species type and just go kind of generic with it, but he's definitely his own thing. Like, that's Griff.
That's the one. That is the single most important thing that I was trying to go for. That I really wanted to go for the idea was he's a Griffin. Well, Griffins are not very popular in this fandom. I mean, they are. They've got their own niche and stuff. But it's it's not very popular. I want him to stand out. I want him to be something that's completely different from all the other Griffins that you see if you were to line them up. So. I think working with you two, I think it really turned out to be something that stands out, and I really do like it a lot. And I can't wait to get artwork with him.
Or maybe this time, by the time Cuckshack comes out, you'll have more of it.
Oh, maybe so. Who knows? But yeah. So
I remember it was cool. A little spoiler for what Grip's also into. He does a lot of D&D in his spare time with his other friend group.
Oh yeah,
and he
talk
does
about your D&D
the
stuff.
Game Master stuff. I remember he brought his little Griffin, custom Griffin figurine that he uses sometimes on the tabletop version.
So it's actually he's actually an Aarakocra, and the Aarakocra are a small bird race.
It's like the things from WoW.
Yeah, so he's his name is Rkoki. But his name is actually everybody just calls him Arco. So he's probably one of my favorite characters that I've ever played in D&D. I do keep him on reserve for whenever I play. Usually I'm DMing, but if I'm not DMing, I'll play as him. And he's a right proper bird, and he's a ranger, so he uses bow and arrow. He's also extremely intelligent. Of course, he's OP as fuck because I ended up hand rolling his stats, and I don't know if it was some sort of divine intervention or whatever, but I ended up just rolling. I mean, when I was rolling the dice, they were just coming out sixes. So he ended up being just super stacked and a lot of stuff. People call me min-maxer and all this other stuff, but that was what it was. I hand rolled it and just picked whatever. It was like, okay, here we go. And turns out he's extremely well versed in about everything. So, but I did have a good buddy of mine ordered that mini from Hero Forge, and we customized it, and he ordered it for me for my birthday, which was really nice. So I still have to paint it. And it's really it's going to be an undertaking because it's so detailed. Even the feathered bracers, the feathers, the individual feathers come off of it. So I'm gonna fucking suck at trying to paint that thing. But I'm gonna fucking suck it. But I'm gonna try it. And
I feel like the first thing I would do if I played D&D is do the same thing. I'd order a custom figurine, paint the fucking thing, play the game, have the character die within the first 20 minutes, and just give up. Fuck, now what do I
do? You're is there any way we can revivify this character, or is there a way we can make the party go on some sort of maybe go on some sort of hunt into one of the outer planes so that we can bring him back, because I did spend a lot of money on this character and I would like to keep him. Because at which point it becomes like, it's not even about the story anymore. It's just about saving your character.
It's just about the investment.
The investment, right? Dude, if my character died, if Arco died, I'd probably quit. I'd quit playing. Because I've put so much into him. Like, I've played him so much and have brought him from like level 1 all the way up. I think we're like level 8 or level 9 now. But I've brought him so far that it's just, man, it would be almost catastrophic to lose him. Because I've even sat down and played music and have like some sort of like eulogy and shit for him. And it's really sad. But yeah.
If he ever dies, we'll give him a pornographic send-off.
Yeah, that's great. Idea.
If he gets fucked in the game, we'll literally fuck him in the artwork.
Yeah.
So if he dies to a dragon or something, that's how he goes.
That's how he goes. He just gets fucking fucked by a dragon and then he's dead.
Yep.
We'll fuck his brains out.
Fuck to death. What would you say is your fondest D&D memory that you've ever had that like encapsulates into a nice little story?
Oh man, I was DMing. This was actually on live. We do Twitch stream here and there. We were Twitch streaming and I was DMing. And my buddy James, who plays Jonas Winterborn, who's a wizard, I had set it up so that I'd split the entire party. Now, we have a big group. We have like a big group of like 8 to 10 people sometimes. I had split the group up into individual trials for each individual person. And basically what I did this in an afternoon. I was sitting down and I was like, well, what is everyone's weaknesses? I know what everybody's strengths are. So let's find out what their weaknesses are. And then let's create a puzzle to make them solve using their weakness, to make them learn how to, use their character in a fashion that they're not used to. So Jonas is intelligent. He's a wizard. He's a caster. So naturally, he's going to have extremely high intelligence. So what I did was I completely just made him fucking stupid as shit. I was like, all right, dude, you're in a cave and your intelligence is now 1. You can't recall any language. You can't speak any language. You can't understand language. Your spells are gone. You can't do any of this stuff. And I was just like, your basal instinct right now, figure a way out of this cave. And the first fucking thing he does is he goes, are there any rocks around? And I said, yeah, you're in a cave. And he was like, I'd like to roll an animal handling check on a rock. Okay, so animal handling, just for context here, animal handling is basically like you can roll a d20 and you can add like your animal handling skill to it. And basically that's if you can like tame the animal, or you can like speak to the animal, or if the animal kind of understands what you're doing, like you kind of form a bond with the animal. So, like,
but it's a rock.
Exactly. That was what was so funny about it. And he was like, I'd like to roll an animal handling check on the rock. And I was like, oh my God, please do it. And he passed it. And I was just like, okay. So the rock kind of rolls over and looks at you, and you can't really tell, but it's happy to see you. and this rock may or may not be smiling at you. So he picks up this rock and he's like, making all these like, sounds and grunts and shit. And he's walking through and he's like, I'm going to ask so he ends up getting into a maze, and he's like, I'm going to ask the rock which way to go. So he has to make a survival check. So survival basically just allows you to like find tracks, or if there's a way out, it can help you like, find something that will lead you on the proper path that you need to be on. And he kept rolling survival checks and he kept hitting them every single time. And the rock kept leading him in directions. I was just like, he goes right, he goes left, you go right and stuff. And at one point he was like, I want to roll an insight check on the rock's motives. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Go ahead and roll. And he rolled and I was like, man, the rock is trying to help you. And he's like, okay, good. But it was just so funny. It was so funny to see that level of just and nothing is more satisfying when you're sitting behind the DM screen and your players like do some outlandish shit that's like, why would you even do that? But it's in a funny manner. Like rolling an animal handling check on a rock. I never would have ever thought that anybody would ever do that. And
Yeah, like, how do you prepare for that? Because I'm assuming you have to do a lot of prep to be a DM. Like, you have to set up your scenario and your dungeons. And
so, all right. So, just to give you a good rule of thumb here, 10% of DMing is actual planned, like scripting and story. 90% is improv. So everything that my people do, I mean, I'm basically improving at that point. Sometimes I try to put little plot holes and little threads and stuff so that they can pick up on it, little plot hooks here and there, so that I can kind of tie them back into what I originally had. But most of the time, it's just complete and just utter fucking pandemonium, and I'm just like, okay, I'm having to pull sheets out and make characters up on the fly, and I'm having to make up shops and having to make up stuff, and I've got a bunch of reference material and shit, but it's all pretty much improv.
Yeah, like the last thing you want to do in a game like that is say, no, you can't do that because you'll derail my story.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and you never, ever want to do that, because that takes away the sense of freedom that the characters and the players have to be able, because I mean, it's a role-playing game. You do whatever you want in the game. My job is to present a story. Now, whether you want to follow that story or you want to completely, go on a hobo murder streak and just kill everybody, that's completely up to you. There are some things for story's sake that I keep in there, certain characters that can't be killed, that you'll try to kill them, but I won't let them die. I'll make them disappear, or some shit like that'll happen, or, they'll get some mystic fog or something will show up and they'll end up getting, carried away or some shit. This is, just to kind of save that. But for the majority of it, it's just, man, you let them have fun, let them do what they do. Because if you tell them that they can't do something, that's taken away from the game.
So what's the climax of this rock story?
Oh, he ended up making it out. The climax was the fact that he rolled the animal handling check on the rock. That was the funniest part of it. But I've had some other stories that have been pretty funny. There's a lot. Man, I've played a lot of D&D, and there's a lot of stories that I've had that my character's gone through. There was one time where there were a bunch of succubi that were around, disguised as like our better half, I guess, or just something that we lusted for, and I ended up fucking. My character ended up fucking somebody for quite a long time, actually. They were trying to drain life from me while I was fucking them, but the DM couldn't roll high enough to hit me, so I ended up getting like sex for free, which is pretty nice. And then they ended up getting killed. But yeah, there's been a lot of stories that we'll have to save for a different time.
I feel like that kind of freedom would be dangerous for Kate, because she has a tendency that anything she enjoys within 24 to 48 hours, there's porn of it online immediately afterwards. So if she were to play a role-playing game of that capacity, and you put her in a situation like that, I feel like that is like very like backwards conscientious bait to kind of get art that you want for free.
No, okay, so yeah, it's not. I never have that in mind, nor do I ever think about that. So the fact that you even mentioned that is like, okay, wow. And then I thought about it, and I remembered when we played Dota. Dota 2 for the first time, and then all of a sudden she's like, drawing pictures.
Drawing Slark and Bounty Hunter
fucking each other, yeah.
That's just the thing I do. And like, see, I feel like if I played D&D, like, I'd play like a really ditzy, like, dumb character to start, because like, I'm gonna be pretty fucking dumb playing the game for the first time anyways. So I might as well just like own it,
yeah.
And play that up. But yeah, I'd probably be like super tempted to be like porny with it. So.
That's fucking great though. I mean, we have a warlock who's like this kinky warlock who likes whips and chains, handcuffs, and all kinds of other stuff. So it's cool when you create a character and then you role play the fuck out of it, because that's what the game's all about, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, you have combat mechanics and shit, but role playing is the best part. Some of the best fucking stories come out of role playing.
You should try Red Dragon Inn sometime. That's a really fun role-playing game. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I haven't, but I'll have to check it out.
So the premise of this game is that it's a group of adventurers that have completed their quest. Whether it be in D&D or otherwise, there's like a good 30 different characters ranging from bards to warriors to kobolds to everything under the moon, right?
Right.
And they're all in a tavern celebrating and getting drunk and pissed and shit.
Yeah.
And it gets so competitive that they start like sharing their treasures with each other, like their gold coins and all that. And the premise is the last one sober at the table with any money left wins.
Oh my
So
god.
it comes down to drinking games and like sabotaging.
Yeah, like
each
you
other
can
to
play it like
drink.
an actual drinking game where like if you're handed a drink that you have to drink, like you drink in real life as well. So
Oh my god.
Yeah, so you can get fucked up in real life while you're playing the fucked up game.
yep.
And it's cool because all the characters have unique talents and abilities that make them like a little bit more interesting. So like the kobold can build shit, and the bard can like use his charisma to fuck with you and stuff. There's one like Midna style character where it's a small fairy chick with a giant wolf pet that Caitlin likes playing.
Of course. Naturally.
Yep.
Seen your artwork.
Size difference, man.
The size difference completely, yeah. So yeah, that sounds pretty fucking awesome. I'd have to check that out for sure because it sounds. What's the meta for this game? The meta.
Meta.
Yeah, the meta. Listen to me. I was thinking about other things. Is there a meta
What
for
is
the
it,
game?
Jay?
Dude, there's a meta for every game.
Jay?
We haven't played it enough to find. We only played it like 2 or 3 times, so it's going to be a while before we figure that out. Yeah. The min-max strat.
The min-max strat, yeah. That's obviously what my friends go for, so why not go for it, right? But, okay, so switching gears. Kate wanted to hear this funny story about the wasp.
Yeah,
Oh,
I do
okay.
actually.
The wasp and the terror shits.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm sitting on the toilet, and I think I had just woken up. The house was empty. My friends weren't here, so I woke up, and I'm in my boxers. And I've got to take a shit. So I go in and take a shit, and I'm sitting there on the toilet, and I hear this buzzing sound. And it sounds like a large insect. And I'm like, oh fuck, there's a wasp somewhere in here. Now, I love snakes. I actually like spiders. I don't have a problem with spiders. Especially even if they're in the house, like I don't have a problem. I just scoop them up and take them outside. Even like venomous spiders, like black widows and stuff. Like I found a few black widows around the house and stuff, and I scoop them off and just take them kind of outside and just let them go. They don't really bother me or scare me. But fucking dude, I've had so many bad experiences with wasps. Like I don't know what it is, but some kind of like instinct inside of me just says run.
But wasps are fucking assholes, so
They are. It's like, eventually a spider will come to grips that you're trying to help it or that you're not going to kill it. So it will kind of, warily climb up into the glass or whatever you're trying to do. And eventually you can get them out and shit. But wasps, dude, if you try to help them, if you're like, hey, I'm leaving the window open so you can fly out, they're like, fuck you, I'm going to sting you because you're right next to me and I don't like you. And so I'm sitting there and, wasps, hornets. I've had a couple of hornets get in the house, yellow jackets. So I'm sitting there on the toilet and I'm like, oh God, there's a wasp in this room somewhere. And I'm like kind of looking over off to the side. I'm looking at the window and trying to look at the blinds to see if I can see him in the window. And I don't see him. And I hear the buzzing again and I look down. And literally as I look down, I see this huge fucking, like, I don't know if it was a yellow jacket or if it was a hornet, but it was on the fucking bottom of the toilet. Like right at the base of the fucking toilet. And I was like, oh my God. And as soon as I made eye contact with this fucking thing, it knew. It immediately knew. It was like, you just made eye contact with me, motherfucker. Your ass is mine. And it flew up in my face. And I'm taking a shit. And I scream. I just scream and run out of the fucking room. Just up and run with my fucking boxers around my ankles and everything. Just run out of the fucking bathroom. And I'm in.
Have it half pinched off.
I fucking pinched. Dude, I clamped down so hard that I could have separated a fucking piece of rebarb. Like I just fucking clamped down instantly. Was like any fucking turd that may have been coming out was separated. It was the jaws of life. And I ran out into the fucking hallway, and I had never run that fast with fucking cloth around my ankles before. And I got out there and was like standing in the hallway with my pants. I had pulled my boxers kind of like halfway up, and I was like doubled over, like laughing hysterically at myself because I had just witnessed myself scream and run out of the bathroom mid shit. So I'm standing in the hallway and I'm like, okay, well, I'm the only one in the house, thank God. Otherwise, I would have had some explaining to do. And so I went to the other bathroom and finished, and then came back in there and dealt with everything. So, but that's my wasp story.
It reminds me, I have a very short story from when I was younger. My mum lives in the boonies in Australia, just like desert land.
Yeah.
And I was forced to visit her parents when I was like 8 or 10. Finally get back to our house. They have a much nicer shower than I do in their part of the house, so I had a shower in my parents' bathroom. I come out, reach into their suitcase that had some of my clothing, grab some of my underwear that was in the suitcase, put them on. Everything's hokey-dory. I continue drying myself. And then I look down, and I realize that there is a huntsman, which is a big fucking hairy motherfucking spider, and Grief too.
Yep.
Going 1,000 miles an hour up a little string that it's got hanging off of my crotch.
Oh my God.
My instincts, to stay calm, fuck that. No, I just whip the shit down and run across the entire house naked. Everyone's home watching TV and everything. I don't give a fuck. Run to my bedroom, lock myself in there for hours on end. That huntsman was like let loose into the house for 2 weeks. We found it in the kitchen 2 weeks later and killed it.
Oh my God, dude. No, I would have shit myself. I would have blown diarrhea all over that fucking spider.
That was the last time I went to Meriden. Fuck that place.
You're like, no thanks, buddy. I'm out of there. Fuck that shit. Yeah, well, Australia's got all the fucking deadly shit down there.
Yeah, that's a stereotype, but you only really get that in the bushland, which is where my mom's shit was. Like, if you live in suburbia and stuff, you get nothing. I got more spiders up here in Canada than I've ever seen in Australia.
Holy shit, dude. That's fucking crazy, man. I literally probably would have fucking had a heart attack.
I've never been such a baby before. I did not care about any circumstance. I was not wearing those undies anymore. I was gone. I've never ran that fast in my life. I'm pretty sure my arms were like flailing behind me like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Dude, if you actually would have taken a moment to look back at that, you would have seen your soul separate from your body, and then catch up to you later in the bedroom.
I think I fucking made a sonic boom behind me. I was going that fast,
dude. Oh man. Because man, I've been stung by so many fucking wasps though. Just walking down the fucking street, man. Not even swatting at anything or just not even doing anything. Just like minding my own fucking business and get stung by a wasp. And I'm like, what the, ow, I'm fucking hurting now. Thanks. What the fuck did I do?
Isn't it a thing that even if you produce too much body heat, they'll fucking sting you?
Yeah. That and the, if you produce too much, I think it's like if your adrenaline starts pumping a lot and you get scared and shit, like that attracts them. Yeah. So, and of course, your natural reaction is, I don't want to get fucking stung because it hurts. I want to run away. So,
Griff.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about my dad's beekeeper face?
No, you haven't actually.
Okay, I think this is the perfect time to bring that up.
Oh, right.
All right, so when I was growing up as a kid, like my dad went through all these phases and shit, and we lived at a golf course at the time. Like it was like a house on the actual course itself that like came with his job. Anyways, it was like a really old wooden house, and a bunch of like bees had like buried into the side of like the siding on the house, like the wood siding, and it was just this like giant nest of bees in the side of the fucking house, and like it was right near my bedroom, and I could hear them buzzing.
Oh my God.
And like they would get in and sting me like at night while I was trying to sleep.
Oh my God.
And my dad refused to fucking exterminate them because he was like, we gotta save the bees, we have to save the fucking bees. So he like captured some of them to save them, and he had them in like a fish tank in his office, and he used to like tap on the glass to like torture them.
Oh my God.
Inside the fucking fish tank.
Oh my
Kalen's
God.
dad is a very special man.
He was just like, yeah, he was like obsessed with bees, and he just like wanted to keep bees, and it was so fucking terrifying because I hated bees like so much.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, he was like, he's like, oh Oh, Daddy's got you in here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what he was
You
doing.
like that, don't you? I'm going to tap on that glass. Hey, I bet you like that shit, don't you?
It was
Wow.
so weird, but it was funny. Like
That sounds fucking hilarious. Are we going to tell him the Taki story?
Yeah, you want to talk about your Taki Shits at FWA, Kate?
Oh god. Okay. So we were in the CVS in the mall next to FWA, and I saw Takis, and for some reason, like, it reminded me of the Orange is the New Black, which is what like I had recognized the Takis from, and I'm like, oh shit, I remember like seeing these on TV. Oh yeah, maybe I'll try some. So my friend at the time got me like a bag of spicy Takis. And I swear I had like 4 or 5 of these Takis, and like I was as I was putting them into my mouth, I'm looking at them and I'm like, these are bright red, like unnaturally red. Like I have a feeling that this is not good for my body.
They were so red they screamed danger.
Yeah, it was
can see
literally
the
like a
regret on
stop
the
sign, like stop putting this in your body. But they were so fucking good. But anyways. Time passes and like we're all in the room together and I'm like, guys, I'm really sorry, but I gotta go to the bathroom like right now. And I'm in there and I've got like the shower on. I'm trying to mask the sound and like, oh my god.
She turned the shower on. I was like, is she taking a shower? She's like, no, she's taking a shit. And I was like, I went over there and knocked on the door and I was like, you alright? You're like, I'm taking a shit. I'm like, okay. So I went and sat back down in the fucking chair.
And then I got up and I opened the door and like, well, Griff, you can tell them about the smell.
Oh my god, yeah. So
Can you describe the flavor on your tongue?
dude, no, man. It tasted like
Do
fucking.
you taste the Taki anymore?
It tasted like some sort of foul gas mixed with Takis and mixed with something that was like noxious fumes. Somebody could have dropped tear gas in the fucking room and I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. It was pretty bad.
And I had the fucking the chemical burn on my butthole too.
Yeah,
From,
like too much sodium
Are you sure that was
hydroxide.
chemical burn or just spice?
It was just fucking the bright red Taki butthole. And then, of course, you know, she sends me later on when we brought that story up again. She sent me the fucking Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire. That was pretty funny. But I'm sitting back and I'm like, I came in to the room to hang out with you guys, and I was still a guest. I was always a guest, but I was still a guest and really didn't have. I really try to be like polite, especially if somebody goes in and takes a shit in their own bathroom and stuff like that. Even if it stinks, you know, I kind of hold my tongue. I don't really say anything, but I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, Kate. Damn, like, are you okay? Do we need to take you to the fucking ER? Like, that's bad. That's really fucking bad.
And it permeated for a good 45 minutes to an hour.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I'll never eat Takis ever
It's
again.
like the Fallout. You had to wait fucking a million years.
I'm
for
never
that shit
eating
to
them
pass.
again.
They didn't have a
Yeah.
fucking fan in the bathroom. They just had
No,
a
they
fucking
didn't.
vent, so you couldn't like turn the fan on and like close the door and hope it sucks all that fucking air out into the rest of the world for everyone else to enjoy. But no, we had to sit in there and bask in it for 45 minutes. That was bad.
God, Kate. Why is it every time you're on the Cuckshack, you just have a fucking gnarly ass fucking blast story going?
I don't know, because I blast ass a lot. I don't know.
That wasn't as bad as the fucking ass blast on the fucking air mattress.
Oh yeah, talk about that.
The
Oh,
infamous Cropdusting.
Oh my god, this is why I have the nickname Cropduster. Well, actually, it's really funny because Kate was going to be the Cropduster, but I ended up being it. So, the way the room was laid out, they blew up an air mattress for me because I had a few too much to drink, and I didn't have to work the next day until like 2 or 3, so I could drive home. 3-hour drive, that'd be cool. So they ended up blowing up the air mattress for me, and I was gonna sleep on it, and everyone had kind of gone to bed. We had turned the lights off, but Kate and I think Jason and me, we were still awake. And I was telling Kate, because the way the room was laid out, the air mattress wouldn't slide all the way up to the top where the headrest was for the other bed. So it was kind of halfway through the bed. So my face, literally, if I'd have rolled over to the side of it closest to the bed, my face would have been in Kate's ass. And I was like, Kate, don't you fucking crop dust me in the middle of the night. Don't you pull the covers up and...
Because Caitlin was pointing her like double barrels right in your face all night.
She
too,
was,
so.
dude. She had her fucking asshole, like the Taki asshole remnants of it, like pointed directly at me. And I knew that if one false move and I was going to get my face melted off. So I just told her that. So anyway... The night kind of progresses on. We're kind of making some jokes and trying to be quiet, and other people are trying to sleep, and everybody's like telling us to shut up and shit. So I don't know what happened, but I kind of rolled over, and I had to fart, and I was like, "Oh my god, okay, I've got to fart." We've already been yelled at for being too loud, so I'm gonna try to sneak this one out. So the first little bit comes out, and it's like. And then like this loud brap that just comes through. Now this, mind you, I'm on an air mattress, so this is completely echoed through this huge queen size box of air. So
and it was right in my face.
It was
His
right.
ass was pointed right at my face.
And I farted, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, Kate and Jason lose it. If you guys fucking lost it. And I'm sitting there, and other people are telling us to shut the fuck up and get upset. And I'm literally at this point, I can't hold it in. I'm laughing so hard. I've got tears coming out of my eyes. Like I'm just like snot and shit.
I'm so sorry.
I couldn't help it, you know. And I'm just laughing and hysterics and
It's
stuff.
just making it worse.
And I'm biting on my fucking lip. And, you know, I'm trying to be quiet, and I'm like trying to breathe and shit. And Jason ends up getting hit with a fucking pillow.
Oh yeah, like we were giggling like little fucking kids for like fucking 20 minutes. So we're getting our roommates pissed.
Yeah.
He gets up out of it. He's like, "Shut the fuck up!" He starts wailing on us with a pillow.
Yeah.
I was laughing even harder at this point.
And I was like, oh my god. So I'm biting my fucking lip, and I'm like, okay, well, it's time for me to disappear. So I pull the fucking covers over my face and accidentally Dutch ovened myself. I fucking, as soon as the covers come over my face, I get greeted with this ass that has been dropped that is the level of Taki Shits in my face. And I'm like, oh god, I just accidentally just accidentally Dutch ovened myself and fucking...
It went from green dragon all the way to brown dragon.
Brown dragon, dude. Yeah, it was bad, and I ended up choking myself out. And then I'm still having to fight back tears, and I'm like having to keep my lip bit because I'm trying not to laugh. And
I was physically like convulsing, trying to hold back laughter. Like I was shaking.
I was, dude,
because I was trying to hold it back so hard.
It was bad, and eventually I think after, because I'm part of the laughing crew, so like if anybody laughs or something and it starts to die down, and if I'm still finding it funny, I'll do, you know, I'll do like some sneaky laughs.
I'm just gone after that. I can't handle that shit.
That's right, man. I keep it going, dude. I don't let it stop. So that was the crop duster story from FWA. Man, that was a fucking great night. That was hilarious.
Yeah, and sad part is after 3 or 4 shit stories in a row, we've capped out our full 1 hour podcast. We've actually gone to 110.
Yep.
So we'll have to actually wrap this up. Sorry guys, I guess we just had too much fun talking about shit.
Hey man.
Any closing statements you want to make for your very own Griff related episode there? Griff?
Oh man, Ikralu, you could call me that too if you could pronounce my fucking name.
Nope, that's why we call you Griff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. No, man, I had a great time. I've always, I don't know, it's been really, like I said earlier, it's been so surreal just with all of this going on and all this happening so fast. And, you know, I'm doing music for you guys. You know, I'm starting to get a foothold on my creativity when it comes to music.
Oh, fuck, we didn't talk about your music.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they can click on that and check it out.
Yep.
Fuck.
So,
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have links to his shit in the description anyway.
but yeah, I've just had such a blast hanging out with you guys and everybody that I've met. And I look forward to continuing and meeting more people, going to more cons, and really just making something
More and more of a degenerate.
Yeah, making more of my trash and just being trash and enjoying being trash.
Yeah, if you guys keep an eye out, you'll see that the music we have in our next couple of projects are very likely going to be done by Ick with his small dick.
Grip.
Make some good shit, lots of
Ick with the big dick.
good chip tune, a lot of cool shit like that, and it's all original. You're all multi-talented. You do like guitar and piano and drums and
Yeah.
all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. You want to say anything, Caitlin, before we wrap it up?
What?
You want to say anything before we wrap it up the episode?
I mean, I haven't really said much to this podcast. I've just been listening. But yeah, I'm really happy that we did meet Grip at FWA. I think he's gonna be around for a good long time.
Why don't you say your catchphrase, Caitlin?
What?
Your classic catchphrase. Say it, Caitlin. Come on.
What's my classic?
The Caitlin catchphrase. Come on, you can do it.
What?
It's
What?
like Rick's wobble lubba dub dub. Do yours, Caitlin.
I don't know what mine is.
Make one up.
Eat my ass.
All right. Eat my ass, everyone. Thanks for being
my
Cuckshack.
ass.
Wasn't that a great episode? Next time we won't wait a month after the con. You can see previous episodes below if you want more Cuckshack.